The new rules require those getting federal SNAP benefits to work, volunteer, or attend job training programs at least 20 hours per week.
Look at that. Hey guys, here to hear back with another one for you. So you guys know what I always say, right? I don't believe in social programs at all, unless it's for veterans, the elderly, or the disabled, right? But all these dunderheaded single moms, right, that have bastard kids because they let nug shoot up the club. Yeah! No. And guys, Orange Man's made changes to welfare and food stamps. He's made a work requirement. And guys, these dunderheaded morons are shaking in their boots, man. And guys, these changes are coming soon. And especially places like California, where they're really liberal about giving out these benefits, and then also have sanctuary cities and all this other stuff. People are cooked. So guys, we have a couple news stories, and guys, let's get into this.
Hundreds of thousands of Californians could be at risk of losing their food benefits with new federal work requirements set to take effect in just a matter of days. That change kicks in on Monday, June 1st, and CalFresh estimates more than 665,000 Californians could lose food assistance.
Look at that.
Our Drew Andre breaks down the stricter rules and heard from advocates worried they will increase food insecurity in the Bay Area.
Starting next Monday, most people who receive CalFresh benefits will have to prove that they're working 20 hours a week, or they'll risk losing that much needed assistance when they go to the grocery store.
More people than ever are still relying on food banks around the Bay Area. In fact, the Food Bank of Contra Costa in Solano County says the need has not dropped at all since the pandemic.
Folks are already struggling as it is to put food on their tables, to find employment, to pay their bills, and to add this is just, I feel, a slap in the face.
SNAP in our state
Look
called
at that.
CalFresh helps families put healthy meals on the table. But the Trump administration passed stricter eligibility rules for recipients in last year's so-called Big Beautiful Bill. Republicans arguing it will reduce costs and promote accountability.
And unfortunately, this will just add to the food insecurity problem that our neighbors are facing.
The federal rule adds work requirements for adults 55 to 64, parents whose children are 14 or older, and veterans. Those groups.
Now, guys, let's stop here, right? Now, guys, the one thing I don't agree with is veterans. All right? You know, because honestly, I believe that if you serve this country, especially if you've been deployed to a combat zone and your injury or whatever, or disability is a result of you defending this country, guys, you technically shouldn't have to work again. That's just my personal view. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you disagree, because I think that veterans, they shouldn't be on this list at all.
Those groups alone in the Bay Area make up around 100,000 CalFresh recipients, according to data from California food banks. Second Harvest of Silicon Valley is already getting flooded with questions.
These kinds of changes, they just create so much confusion in the system, and they just add a lot of red tape to challenging.
So making people work causes confusion, huh? Please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Times that folks are already going through.
There are exemptions to the work requirements, like pregnant women, anyone with disabilities, if you're caring for someone with disabilities, or have kids under 14. You're also exempt if you go to school part-time. We found you can use the pre-screening tool on the CalFresh Work website to determine if you're still eligible.
So we're really encouraging folks to call for that one-on-one assistance with our CalFresh outreach team or to your county eligibility workers. We're here to help.
Assemblymember Alex Lee is fighting for more CalFresh funding. He's requesting to put $100 million more into the program.
There are over 500,000 Californians who are going to be subject to bureaucratic paperwork that were not previously subject to the CalFresh before. And
this is just the start of more cutbacks to CalFresh. The federal government will cut a quarter of administrative costs in the fall.
And this is all happening, of course, while there are cuts to Medicaid and other things.
It will take 3 months before people are kicked off the program. So food banks believe they'll really start to notice the demand come the fall.
The new eligibility requirements will only apply to new applicants and people recertifying their benefits.
Now, guys, once again, First of all, this chick in the red, she's a little bit past the wall, but she can get it, right?
She's like all these babes. You get their pilot lit, they can start a leaf blower.
Yeah, guys, I don't care. I don't care. I don't. If they want to spend more money on this, what a joke. What a joke. Clown world.
Now at 5:30, hundreds of thousands of Californians are set to lose their SNAP food benefits as new federal eligibility requirements take effect today.
Look at that.
Now, currently, more than 5 million people are receiving CalFresh benefits, but with new work requirements, an estimated 665,000 could lose access to that food assistance. John Ramos breaks down the changes and the economic impact.
Man, there's the same chick again with a little suit on. You know what I'm saying? All she needs now are some of the hot secretary glasses, you know? And you're ready to rock, you know?
The fight over government food benefits is being waged in places like Washington, D.C. and Sacramento. But it is here in the small towns of Contra Costa County where the impact is really going to be felt. The new rules require those getting federal SNAP benefits to work, volunteer, or attend job training programs at least 20 hours per week. It applies to people 18 to 64 years old without dependents under 14 years of age. The federal government is referring to these people as ABODs, short for able-bodied adults without dependents.
There you go.
Jeanette Orta with the Food Bank of Contra Costa Solano says her clients...
They should call her Jeanette Torta. Yo. Oh no.
Are already starting to panic.
A lot of folks think that they are going to be, for those that have CalFresh already, they're concerned that they will be an ABOD and that they will lose benefits immediately starting June 1st, when that is not the case. It'll be at their next recertification. And for folks who don't already have CalFresh, the fear is that they won't be eligible for, and therefore they're not going to apply and they're not going to submit the application. And we want to tell folks that, hey, you might still qualify. You can still apply for benefits now.
But just trying to comply with the new requirements is posing a nightmare situation for counties. At a virtual press conference, local officials discussed the problem. Dr. Marla Stewart heads up Contra Costa's Employment and Human Services Department.
You're right, we do not have the employment support system that we need to support the number of people that will be looking for work from CalFresh and also for Medi-Cal, which starts on October 1st.
This may be the calm before the storm at Concord's job placement office. As the year goes on, these chairs are expected to be full of new job applicants, including many in their late 50s and 60s. Dr. Stewart says it's estimated that each new job applicant will take about 3 hours of staff time per year, a total of 153,000 hours of new work that is, as yet, unfunded.
There's going to be this huge impact in our employment sort of environment, beyond which maybe we've discussed today.
Others will be affected as well. CalFresh purchases account for $21 million per month in Contra Costa alone. The La Tierra supermarket in Bay Point caters to a low-income population, many who use the program to buy food. Store manager Maria Esquivel said by phone that local business owners cannot escape the pain.
When in the business point of view, they would affect us as far as sales. I think it would be a big impact for the community just based on, what we see, the traffic that we see inside the store.
But as people fall out of eligibility, the task of feeding people will inevitably fall to food banks. The Trump administration says it's about promoting self-sufficiency and protecting taxpayer dollars. But Jeanette Orta says the intention of the rule change seems clear.
These rules were meant to kick people off of benefits to reduce federal costs. The reality is people will struggle. People will fall off benefits that they might be eligible for, or they will go hungry and turn to food banks and food distributions, and that's the harsh reality.
That harsh reality is already playing out.
Yeah, because people like this are really, really hurting for food, right, guys? Oh! Hey-oh!
Out. Data shows that since January, the number of SNAP recipients has dropped by 3.5 million people nationwide. And in Contra Costa County, they're expecting a lot more company on the food lines.
Look at that, guys.
Experts say it could take 12 to 15 months to see the full impact.
Blah, 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 right? Because I don't care. If someone says maybe all these 50 and 62-year-olds could qualify for one of the job openings created by the large tech layoffs. Yeah, if someone says, oh, this is California, so it's all woke taxpayers' dollars. You know what I'm saying? Someone says it cuts out all the lazy people that don't want to work and think that everyone should support them for free. Someone says, good, we owe them nothing. Facts, right? Someone says, people look at me sideways when they ask if I have SNAP, and I say that I don't. Someone says, why don't they open soup kitchens? Someone says, the normal must look out for themselves. Someone says, oh, they're going to have to work to eat? Have I been doing it wrong for all these years? Someone says, boo-hoo, able-bodied people have to work a whole 20 hours to get free stuff. Guess what? I work 60 to 80 hours. Look at that, guys. All right, guys, let me know what you think. I'll keep following up on this so that we can see how this goes into effect here. You know what I mean? And actually, guys, here, let's do one more story here. Guys, that's a ghastly looking woman right here. Yikes, dude, the streak has been broken. Ugh. Look at
New federal changes to CalFresh will take effect tomorrow. They expand work requirements for some recipients. Food banks are warning that hundreds of thousands of Californians could eventually lose some of their benefits. KRON 4's Lindsay Ford has the story.
The first line of defense against hunger and food insecurity in California is CalFresh, federally known as SNAP. But food bank advocates like Jared Call, director of public policy and advocacy for California food banks, says new federal changes could result in an estimated 550,000 Californians losing access to benefits over the next year.
When that nutrition safety net fails, we see ourselves as the hands beneath the safety net.
The California Association of Food Banks represents 43 member food banks serving all 58 counties across the state. Call says the Big Beautiful Bill, or H.R. 1, includes the largest cuts to SNAP in program's history, with the biggest change being an expansion of strict work requirements and time limits. Starting June 1st, many adults ages 18 to 64 who do not qualify for an exemption must complete an 80-hour per month of work, volunteering, educating, or job training to keep receiving benefits. Those who do not meet the requirements could eventually be limited to just 3 months of CalFresh benefits during a 3-year period.
Just to be clear, no one's going to get cut off because of this rule on June 1st, but it will start the clock on those very short 3 months that they will be eligible to continue to receive CalFresh. And they have to prove that they're doing that to their county social services department and their eligibility worker.
California Food Banks is working with the state legislator and governor's office to help mitigate the impact of the changes. One priority is keeping eligible people enrolled in CalFresh through outreach and application assistance programs.
I can't overstate how much red tape and administrative burden it puts on clients who are already struggling to put food on the table.
The two most vulnerable affected, Call says, are the elderly and unhoused.
Those used to be people who were
unhoused. Guys, anyone who says unhoused is a woke dunderhead.
Categorically exempt. If you were on CalFresh, but you didn't have a steady home, you weren't subject to this rule.
Janelle Muramoto, executive director of the San Lorenzo Family Help Center, shared these photos with KRON 4 showing volunteers helping families at the food pantry. The organization also helps connect people with volunteer opportunities that may help them meet the new work requirements while searching for employment. Muramoto says food pantries generally do not require proof of income, and some may only ask for basic identification. Most of the center's staff are volunteers, and the organization has expanded its food supply through donations and partnerships with local farmers markets.
We all are just there to care. You know, nobody at a pantry is there for any reason other than that they care. So people are going to get what they need. If they show up, they're going to get something. They're going to get what they need.
Muramoto says if you need help with food, don't panic. You can
blah, 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 blah. Guys, have we seen anyone in any of these videos that actually looks like they have problems getting food? Guys, what a joke. So, but as you guys, AJ, I appreciate you guys. Like the video, share the video, hit the join button because my members are the best, and I'm out of here. Bye, guys.